So today is Thursday, September the 9th, and we are on day 2 of Stating Facts with the Statements, where this is about truth and transparency. We chose to elaborate or to expound upon Psalms
91.
The reason we chose Psalm 91 because it's a protection prayer. It's one of the protection prayers that's in the Bible out of 10 of them. It's Exodus, it's Leviticus, Deuteronomy. It's a lot of them are Psalms and they're protection prayers. So if you figure it's about 10 of them in the Bible, that means they're important because we all need protection. And
not only that, but with the current events taking place today in our society, we have a high murder rate, death rate, crime is high, unemployment is completely gone.
Mixed messages throughout the media.
With whether it's with the vaccine or with different things going on.
That's so controversial. It's important to have a protection plan. So let's talk about why we chose it. So we woke up this morning and my husband, do his thing. It takes forever for me to get ready. So he said, babe, you ready? Yeah, I'm coming in 15 minutes. It takes me about an hour. And he lets me do my thing. Talk about patience. Boy, he has lots of it. So he out on the back porch. And mind you, we're at my brother's house visiting out of town. But we take God everywhere we go. He lives within us. And so he's out there doing his own studies. And I'm like, come out there and I'm ready. And he just in his thing, take your time. And so we proceed to go get in the car. And I get to where my brother's house sits. The light is like literally maybe like 500 to 1,000 feet. And he says, baby, turn back around. Go back around John's house. And I'm like, why? He's like, go back. I'm thinking somebody's breaking in the house. Like it's some urgent. I'm thinking that, somebody done got in there. Something's going on. And I pull up and he jumps out the car and he proceeds to walk into my brother's backyard and he finds this feather. And I'll let him take it from there about how God spoke to him.
Well, I was outside doing my normal morning lessons, and what was really nice is that a bird flew over me as I was doing the lesson, and it caught my attention. And I looked at this bird, and as I was looking at the bird, a white feather fell from him. And I asked God, is that feather for me? And he said, yes, but yet I wasn't obedient. I didn't grab the feather. Mm-hmm. So I got in the car with you, but it was still working my spirit.
Heavy on your heart.
Heavy. That it wouldn't let me get away from it. So I did actually come back around. When I got the feather, before I even looked it up, I said...
Tears started flowing from his eyes. Let me say that first.
I'm crying. Why am I so emotional? So there's something about this white feather.
Shaking and all.
As a matter of fact, allow me to give you the reference for it. It's going to be little.
While he's looking for that, but he was shaking. I never seen him like this. You thought somebody was chasing him. And I'm like, what is going on? And we start to talk about this feather that he's showing.
I'm trying to show.
He's beating it up, but it's okay.
It's been compressed in my wallet. But anyway, if you can see this white feather that fell, as soon as I grabbed this feather, I felt something very spiritual, emotional.
A manifestation. Let's talk about that.
Overwhelming come over me. And so I had to look it up. I want to know, what is this white feather? Mm-hmm. Why do I feel this presence of God so heavy on me because of the white feather?
And here's what we got from this white feather. This white feather, I pulled out 6 things that this white feather could mean. And we're going to go into breaking down these 6 feathers. But we're going to first start by reading Psalms 91. Sorry, I don't have it up. Give me a second. One moment. Remember, I already said Psalms 91 is the prayer for protection, right?
Indeed. Amen.
So, Psalms 91 says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Now, that's Psalms 91. So I pulled 6 things out of this feather. And also what Psalms 91 is about, a protection period. So I said manifestation. Then you talk about affirmation, peace, love, protection, light, and trust. Right?
Indeed. But you forgot something that I think is equally important.
What's that? I can't hear you, husband.
Angels.
Uh-huh.
Angels. The feathers are a sign that your angels, your guardian angels, your angels of protection, your heavenly angels are around you. That your protection around you. It's a sign from God himself.
Okay.
And from the universe.
I'm glad you called it an angel. So, the same thing as protection. So, what does an angel do? Come to protect. So, again, you were right, babe. We broke those 6 things down. So, I'm going to get you to talk about your angel because we said protection. So, here's what I want to do now. I want to take manifestation and talk about what manifestation means to me. What is the meaning of manifestation? We talk about, I wanted to manifest in my life, God. What does that mean? So to me, manifestation means to show me a sign. No matter what that sign may be this feather, right? Show me a sign that God, you are real and what you're telling me, I can believe and I can stand on. Manifest, show me, reveal yourself to me, right? But I want to visualize though. Manifest is to visualize something I can see. Something that I can see. So it's really, now I broke it down. I'm about to go deep on it. It's turning the intangible into tangible. I'm going to say that again. To manifest something is to turn the intangible into tangible. How do you do that? What? Turn the intangible. The intangible means something that I can only see. I visualize. I can't touch it. I can't feel it. It's intangible, right? So what I pray, I say this protection prayer, Psalms 91. Now God is going to manifest it to me where I can touch it. I can feel it. It's right here. I no longer have to wonder or guess what it is. I know what it is because here it is right here.
You
God,
gave me that sign.
God, I need $10,000. I can see it. But are you going to give it to me? Now God said, I'm going to give it to you now. Here go this $10,000 right here. He turns the intangible to tangible. That's what manifestation is to me. I don't know about you.
No, to piggyback off of that, I would definitely agree. Manifestation is something that starts off as a thought or desire. And then it's actually birth and comes to fruition when it's actually part of reality. When
but you got to believe it.
The thought becomes reality, and reality is that the thought manifested.
But I thought you was gonna go there, baby. It's a thought, right? You got to think it.
Starts off
but you have to, after you think it, you too have to believe it.
Yeah, scriptural. As a man
thinketh,
so it be. So is he. So your mindset with that.
Come on.
Your mindset is part of the manifestation. But it's not just a mindset with you and what you desire. It's a mindset with you, your desires, and God. It all has to be linked up in alignment. That's when the manifestation. And see, we don't manifest anything. All we do is our part, which is believe. He does the manifestation. So when you talk about the Psalms 91 prayer, it's a conditional prayer. If you do A, I will do B. If you do C, I will do D.
Yeah.
We serve a conditional God. He's going to do his part.
He already promised
only
us
if
that.
we do our part.
That's right.
And he's obligated by his word.
So what do you think when people say, you know, because we heard that earlier, God promised us this. Yeah, he promised us. We supposed to have everything, right? But you got to do some work. He just ain't gonna say, here you go, right? You said that. You do A, I'll do B. You take one step, I'm gonna take 10.
You seek me first, and all things will be added unto you. He's a conditional God.
I like that. All right. So now we're gonna go on to number 2. We talk about affirmation. What is affirmation? I said to me, and then mind you guys, I said, my brother and Derek, my husband, was talking, and as I was like, okay, we want to do this, and I just went and I started breaking down what it means to me. Now, if I'm wrong in any way about something I said, we do stand corrected, or challenged on what I said or what I believe. But these are my beliefs and what I think it is.
Well, because we prayed over this first,
oh yeah, come on.
I believe the Spirit is going to lead us. Now, if there's something where you make a mistake as being humans, we can always be corrected. We're humble enough to be corrected, so that's never an issue. But if it's something that I don't agree with or I feel unsure about, we can always define it or make sure we're comfortable with it. So
good. So now affirmation. Affirmation to me, I said, is a sort of like declaration, to declare something, to affirm something, to assert something. That's what affirmation means to me. God will give us that affirmation. It's like giving you that I got a loss for words now. It's giving you not that permission I'm looking for, affirmation, confirmation. Giving you that confirmation that it's okay. Rather, it's a job or, okay, we'll talk about what we're going through now. We're about to make this transition from Philly to Altoona. And God has gave us so many affirmations that this is where we're supposed to be when we talk to other people. You sure? I don't think about why not. God already approved it, so who are you not to? And I'll go even deeper. We're waiting on some money to come in the mail. We've been waiting for about 2 weeks now, but we know it's on the way. We don't know when it's coming, so we go see a house today. And my aunt said to me, I dropped the application off. She already showed me the house through Messenger. She video called me. She saw the house last week. And so she said to us today, because we keep saying, God, you know we're going to see this house, but we're going to need these deposits. And what are we going to do? And we trust you, but we want this house. And we, mind you, we went to go see 4 houses today, but this one house, it wasn't even as fancy as the other house we saw, but it was the house that God said, this is where you're supposed to be. And my aunt said to us before we leave, I'm going to give him the application, and if he wants the deposits, I'm going to give him the deposits, and y'all just send me the money back.
Right.
Say that again. What'd she say?
She said that once he confirmed or once he approves this, I'm going to put the money up for you.
She didn't even know our status. Don't even know if we got it or not. But she said, I got it
for you, and you guys just pay it back. And that's the part of conditional God. God said, if you seek me first and all my righteousness, I will add all things unto you. What did we do today? We sat back, we praised, and we worshiped. We didn't ask him for nothing. I said, God, I need money. Need nothing. God, I need this. We said, we just going to thank God today for being God and not asking for nothing. And we went through praise and worship.
All day, for hours.
All day. So when we get to, and the beauty of the situation, and this is why confirmation and affirmations continue to come in, because when you put God first, he will confirm that you're doing the right thing. He's not going to let you go off on the wrong. He's not going to let you.
You mean he ain't going to give you no doubt to question you sure? So we just going to leave Philly, all our family, the Philly cheesesteaks, all that stuff? Yep. No Chinese food? Come on. And come out the little boring Altoona?
Yes.
Ain't nothing to do here.
With faith.
Well, there's nothing to do here.
With the faith the size of a mustard seed. That's all he said, when I come back, will I find faith? He didn't ask us for nothing else but faith. And so when we walked in that... Okay. So we walked in that faith, and because of that, God rewarded us. Why? Because we exercised faith.
And now we're going to take a little pause.
Bluetooth connected.
Stop. You can stop. No, we'll pause. Because nobody has information. Okay. Welcome back. So we're going to continue with where we left off. And I'm going to let my husband kind of bring you up to date.
We thank you for having us back after that short little break. We left off talking about God giving us confirmation and affirmation that what we're doing is right, and us doing our part just by stepping out of faith. Mm-hmm. Whether the money's here or not is irrelevant, because in my Father's house is many mansions. So we're not worried about what we have right now. We're not worried about what we can see, because the manifestation is going to take place based upon our faith. So what he said do? He said, seek me first. So as we praise and worship, and the power of God did what? Was manifested with this heavy spirit all over us.
Which brings about that affirmation.
And gave us more confirmation that what we was doing was right.
Which brings us to peace. So when you get that affirmation, which is a confirmation, right, what does that give you in your spirit? Some peace, right? So I said, what is peace to me? Peace is something that makes you complete, makes you whole. It's like harmony. It sings. When you got peace, man, you have tunes in your head singing and people don't even know what's going on. They look at you like you crazy, but you got that peace that surpasses
all understanding. I can echo that with the peace. Peace has you stable, planted,
Grounded?
grounded. You know, like by the rivers of water
Can't nothing shake
that
that?
can't be moved. Unshakable, resting.
How do you get that
Confident,
peace though, babe?
secure.
How do you get that peace, right?
Well, first you have to understand, where does peace come from? Peace comes from the Most High. So if you want that peace, you have to go to Him, because He brings you peace. He is peace.
Can I say this? So when you talk about peace, how do you get to peace? Above going to Him, we know that. For me, I'm saying, don't you got to surrender? Like something that you fight, and you take me and my addiction and going back and going forth and going here and going there and keep going back. Matter of fact, I keep going back, and then I'll stop and I keep going back. But it's something about what I told you the other day. I said, but when you surrender, and the way I've been crying out to God, and I know I'm done. Well, it talks about, we said what? Taking the taste out of my mouth. Like He's taking it out of my hand, out of my thought process before, the desire. But I'm talking about something about taking the taste where I woke up and don't even taste it. Don't even want it. But remember I said to you, a week or two ago, I said, babe, this about to stop. I don't know what's going to happen, but something about to stop.
Well, it's so interesting you mentioned that, because we can surrender to God. There's surrender because I'm in a bad situation. There's surrender so I don't get in trouble.
Because I'm broke.
Surrender because it's convenient.
At that time.
Partial surrender is like partial obedience.
Straddling the fence.
Half-lie. It doesn't work. So
working for God and working for the devil. I'm confused.
Yeah. So when you truly surrender, well, first of all, God knows when you truly surrender. He's not going to take the taste away until you truly. He can give you a break or a temporary reprieve so you can clean up and go mess up again. But when you truly surrender, when you wave the white flag and say, I'm done, I'm ready to do your will, that's when He takes away the taste and desire.
Surrender. And that's when I feel like
total surrender.
You walk into that peace. And how do you get that peace? And what is that peace? Is wholeness. That's why I said I know it's different. And then I also said, well, I don't want to lose my husband. I don't want to lose my marriage. Ain't no bag, ain't nothing that important to allow it to take away what I know God has sent to me for me.
Right. Well, another thing, I spoke to my brother-in-law, John, the other day. He was telling me that.
I'm getting hot, y'all. Sorry, but.
It's okay. I was talking to him today, and he was explaining to me that, you have to determine what you want. You have to determine what you want. You want peace, you have to put protection around it. You want God, you have to put protection around it. You want happiness.
So you talking about the same
choice.
protection that you asking for in Psalms 91?
The same protection. The same protection that Psalms 91 offers it goes back to being conditional. If I want God to give me peace, then I have to surrender to chaos. If I want God to give me deliverance, I have to surrender to drugs.
So let me ask you this, because my husband is more spiritually inclined than I am. Tell me someone in the Bible, like a servant or whoever, I might be using their name wrong, a prophet or something in the Bible, who had to go to God and ask Him for this peace or this protection prayer. Is it any scripture or any person in the Bible that comes to you?
One that comes to mind immediately is David. It said David was a man after God's own heart, because no matter how much wrong David did, not intentional, David cheated and committed adultery and murder and a bunch of other things, but God said he's a man after my own heart.
So he sinned like all of us, like we do every day.
We all fall short of the glory of God.
So why did he choose David though?
Because David operated in truth and transparency.
And what this show about? Truth and what?
Transparency.
Hey, come on.
He came to God and said, look, this is what I've done. I'm wrong. Please cleanse me if I'm wrong. He pleaded with God with a truth. See, man judges the outside, what we do. God judges the heart. And so what David did, what people don't understand, even when he did wrong, he came to God with all of his heart, all of his brokenness. That's why he said, a broken and contrite spirit I won't despise. So when David came to him with his brokenness, God was able to restore him. Again, this is all conditional. Come to me, all you. Please forgive me, I'm misquoting the word, okay. But basically, all come to me, all ye that are heavy laden with burdens, and I will give you rest. I'm paraphrasing, but the burdens that we carry in life, the burdens of keeping up in this crazy economy, not knowing what's going on with unemployment. Those were a lot of burdens. Vaccines, work.
But listen to this,
kids
though,
not
babe.
going to school.
But listen to this. We don't have to carry those burdens because we have these prayers, right? That helps us. We have the word that's available to us all, right? To give us that peace, that protection that we don't, that doesn't worry us, that doesn't burden us down, that doesn't cause us to go to drugs, that doesn't cause us to go to alcohol, that doesn't cause us to go out there and commit a crime. So it's all about free will and choice in what you want to do, right? But none of these things work, I think, unless you're totally aligned with God, right? You can pray all day, right, and think you're gonna get results, but until your spirit is aligned with Him, ain't nothing gonna change.
Right, absolutely. No.
Well, we're going to go into, this is the fourth one, I think, babe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're on 4, which is love. Now, we did that first one the other day on the 4 types of love. We broke them down. I'm going to think of 2, I remember. Eros love, agape. We know Eros is a personal type of love, an intimate type of love. Your partner, your mate, your wife, your husband love. Agape is the highest love for all mankind.
We had philia love, which was like
Philia love.
Philia love, forgive me. And which is loving, like-minded, and friends and co-workers, and then you had the parental love, which was storage.
Storage love, baby. Whoa! I hit 2, you hit 2, because I was about to pull it up because I couldn't. I remember those 2 that stuck to me. I think agape, because love for everybody. I love everybody. I don't hate anybody. I want the best for everybody. And then the Eros love, because I love my husband to death. So those 2 just stick to me, and he hit the other 2. So
you know the funny thing about what she just said, and this is why we call this truth and transparency.
Right.
I didn't know the other 2. I knew she was going to go to the first Eros and agape because
really? You thought I was going to go to that automatically.
The Spirit revealed to me. So I started in my fear of not knowing the other answer was actually to look in it, and then I remember the scripture that says, "But the Spirit will bring all things to remembrance." And so I just sat there, and it came to me as I just sat there, and I stayed calm. I didn't rush to look it up. I let the Spirit reveal to me, and they just came out automatically.
You better stop. And you didn't even say storage, but you said what it meant. You said
he
what.
Brought that back to my memories, and you just.
And I said storage. Look at God. God is moving. He's moving. You got to allow Him to move, though. All right, so we go back to the love. So we just told you about the 4 types of love: the storage love, the Eros love, the agape love, and the philia love. So for me, I just said love is just practicing that agape love, because we already broke down what love means and how we should love. And you should just love everybody, not for what they have, not for what they don't have. Just love them, because God is love.
Right.
So.
And that's also being in alignment. If God is love, and we talked about this today on the previous podcast, and you want His protection, part of Him loving you, because just like a parent, you love your children, you're going to protect them.
That's right.
Right? You love your wife, your family, you're going to protect them. God loves His children, so He's going to protect us, but only if we're in alignment. And
only if we go and we ask Him for that.
He's not going to force anything on us.
That goes into protection. Now, you went into it. Dad, babe, can I tell them first the 5th one is protection? Okay, he gave it up. So the 5th one is protection. So I said, what is protection? To ask for covering. Because we're talking about Psalms 91, right?
Indeed.
So protection is to ask for a covering. It's asking for safety. It's asking for this light to be shined on you. For me, that's why I said.
Okay.
That was it.
Well, see, there's a lot of ways we can protect ourselves. We get insurance to protect our cars, protect our homes. We get a gun so we feel like we can protect our family or protect ourselves. Those are tangible, worldly ways to protect ourselves. But the most, and again, talking to Brother John again last night, he talked about spiritual protection.
Who is this John that you keep talking about?
My brother-in-law, John.
He must have got some wisdom too.
But he was talking about going back to protection.
Yeah.
You know, you don't go out to war without your protection. Every day we're in a war when we go out here. Spiritual.
Not the armor of God.
We don't fight against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
So you talking about putting on the armor, the full armor?
John said you got to put on the whole armor.
The full armor, yeah, not just the armor. Come on.
But the whole armor of God, all 6 pieces, because there's 6 pieces to it. You put on the whole armor of God, That's your protection.
Okay. So we talked about protection, and it's weird that I had it all the way down there. I started at, but maybe because that's the most powerful one. But then I put, no, I think this the last one. So I said trust. You know, you got a lot of people that say, I don't trust people. You know, I got trust issues. Yeah, I was one of them. You say, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, but you trust to go to the dope man and get a bag of dope. And you don't know what the hell is in it, but you trust that it's gonna be cocaine and it'll crack in it, or you trust
heroin or
go
whatever.
You don't know what the hell is in it,
Yeah.
right? I'll share something with you. Are you comfortable with me sharing this?
My pain that I've been through is nothing but a testimony of God's favor on my life.
Cool. Say no more. So we about truth and transparency, right? So I'm
That's
about
what
to
we do
get raw.
here, stating facts.
So let me say this: when I met my husband didn't smoke a cigarette. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke weed. He did nothing. I thought he was actually like corny and weird. Actually, he tried to talk to me for a good couple months, and I looked past him. Boy, if you don't get out my face, you're not my type. And when my husband got with me, when we got with each other, he was in his spirituals. It wasn't nothing for him to sit in there and hold his phone and listen to, you know, the different people that he followed, which is spiritual. And when I came in, I disrupted all of that because my spirit wasn't right. And
well, as you say that, it's easy to say you disrupted. That would be giving too much credit that you forced me. You didn't hold a gun to my head. You didn't force me to do something. I did it willingly. One, because I wanted to be with you, and I thought this was a way to still connect with you and keep you.
Well, let me say what I'm talking about.
Go right ahead.
So again, he didn't do any type of drugs, didn't smoke a cigarette. He hadn't smoked a cigarette in how long?
About a year.
So here come Nita, you know, smoking my cigarettes, getting my liquor and partying and getting my little bag of cocaine. Soon I found my husband doing the same exact things that I was doing. And it got so bad that it was to that verge of destroying our marriage and destroying the things that we had prayed and asked God for each other spiritually. Now, let me back up. When I met my husband, the very first time we met on a video call, after again ignoring him, bypassing him, and I was in between homes, living here, living there. I had stuff here, sister house, mom house, everybody's house, a hotel, everywhere, right? Just getting by. And here I call this man for the first time, and we do a video call. Excuse me if I get a little emotional. And this man, this is how I knew my husband was for me. The video call, he looked at me in my eyes, and he said to me, I'm coming to get you tomorrow, you coming home. I said, coming home? I don't know you coming home. And living with a man has been something that I never believed in. It wasn't taught. You always, God bless the child that has their own. Mm-hmm. And I trusted this man enough. God was dealing with me. He came and got me that next day and took me every place I had clothes at and took me to his home, and I had never left. But then these same things I prayed to ask God for, this man, this leader, this spiritual man of God, I was sabotaging. I was destroying him, and I was breaking him down.
Now, let me interject for a second, and I'll cut you off, Queen. Those things may have happened, but you can't feel like the responsibility is on you, because I forget the scripture. I want to say James. An unstable man, a double-minded man, is unstable in all his ways. And so, before I met you, what you knew, I was on a 30-day fast. I prayed for you. So I fasted from sun up to sundown. So when you came in my life, I knew that God had answered my prayer. Now, it was up to me to continue to read and do my studies and not veer off. I became unstable. And in that unstableness, instead of me reeling you into my side, I followed on your side. But all praise to the Most High, because he knows the end at the beginning. And he knew in his infinite wisdom that these things had to happen for us to get to a point of total brokenness. He can't deal with pride. He can't deal with anything. He had to remove all that. If that meant breaking us down financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, bankrupt,
He had stripped us. God has stripped us of everything. And it was August 27th. And I took my husband away for 4 days. And we had liquor, and we had cocaine, and we had weed, and we partied. And me being so selfish, because you can be so selfish. And you can convince yourself that you're doing something for somebody. But you so selfish because I say I'm taking you away for your birthday, but yet I'm taking you to where I want to go and do all the things that I want to do, right? Because I'm being selfish. And my husband, when we left, the day we were leaving, my husband tried to kill himself and cut his arm so bad that he had to get staples in his arm. And when we got to the hospital, the doctors looked up at me and said, do you know how much alcohol and drugs was in your husband's system? I'm looking stupid like, huh? Drug? It put me in a state of humility, embarrassment, guilt, shame. But this is how God's grace works.
Share the hope. While you're dealing with those emotions, let me just say that when everything happened, I was in such a level of pain because I was so far from God. I was so far from my wife. I was with you, but we weren't connecting on a deep emotional or spiritual level. And the pain became so great. And instead of running to God, I ran to drugs and alcohol.
I want to pause for a second, baby.
Let's take a pause, break, so we can come back as we continue to talk about
grace.
The grace of God.
Bluetooth connected.
You okay, dude? But God had different plans. He had different plans. Instead of losing one, he gained two. I could have lost it, but he gained two back in his kingdom. And he's mad about that. All praises to the Most High God.
Grace, that same grace.
That's what God is. That grace, that protection, is all of that. I could have been gone that day.
You were supposed to.
And if I was going, you would have lost your mind.
So what did I say earlier? You would have sacrificed to be the head of your family and not the tail. To allow me to follow you. So I can be submissive. I'm beating into be submissive. I'm talking about that easy submission where I can follow my husband. I can listen to my husband. My husband say do something, I can do it and not question why. I know that you're doing it for the good of us.
You know, it's a shame because what people consider weak and corny, God considers strong. God, you know, I've had friends and family members think because of my humility and how mild manner I talk that somehow that makes me weak. But God sees my inner strength. He says you're a king.
What did I say? Mom said, you know when you found that one for you. And I said, Mom, because Mom and Dad told you to marry forever. And they went through so much. How you know? She said, you're going to know. And I said, I wish my mom was here today because she would see. Because people may not understand. They don't see what I see. I know I got a man who loves me, who who has patience with me, who's humble, who understands me, who loves me like no other man has loved me unconditionally.
But let me say this: the only reason why I'm able to do that is because I'm aligned with the Most High God. Of my own, I couldn't do that. Of my own, if I had hair, I pulled my hair out. But the Most High affords me that opportunity when I spend time with Him, when I praise and worship, when I align.
And what do I say now? I have to let you do that. In the beginning,
That's
I did
critical.
everything to just, oh, you reading that again? You listening to this? I mean, now I understand that that's what you need in order to lead me.
If I don't do my spiritual maintenance, I have nothing to give you. I can't leave because I'm not following the Most